The 1960s was a year of change in the U.S. The Vietnam War was decreasing youth support for the government. African Americans were campaigning for their rights, and all across the country, authorities were trying to reassert their control. One event that perfectly summarizes this climate is the Freedom Summer Campaign. The Freedom Summer Campaign started in Mississippi in 1961 by fieldworkers from the Student Nonviolent Coordination Committee. Their goal was to register black voters in a state where only 6.7% of blacks could vote. For the first 3 years, they were heavily repressed and had very little success. This was ultimately due to their inability to generate national publicity that responds in federal intervention, like the kind Martin Luther King Jr. so effectively used. In 1964, the SNCC started to use a different tactic.
Since everything we were doing obviously wasn't working, we should try something new. We want to try and show people that black people wanted to vote. Of course, the only problem with that is in order to do that, you need to have black people voting, which was the initial problem. So that's where we came up with the idea of the mock election.
The SNCC started to register voters, canvass the neighborhood, and prepare ballots. Altogether, 80,000 blacks registered for the mock election. Thesis data, together with the fact that the SNCC was mainly white, helped the movement gain popularity. This became the start of what was known as Freedom Summer. Freedom Summer's goal was to help African Americans gain their voting rights by focusing the national attention on Mississippi. The SNCC and the Congress of Racial Equality recruited about 600 mostly white college students. The National Council of Churches organized 1 week of training that included self-defense classes. They planned to establish freedom schools to educate blacks and register to vote in Mississippi. In response, Jackson started to upgrade their rally gear.
Were we expecting violence? Definitely. We knew we wouldn't be able to just waltz in there and register black people to vote. What we weren't expecting was the severity of the response.
Newspapers warned of an quote-unquote invasion, and Governor Johnson promised to maintain order Mississippi style. After a church bombing, 3 SNC workers were arrested for a traffic violation, released later, and then beaten to death. This shocked SNC members.
We had no idea they'd be killed so blatantly, but we knew the best way to keep up morale and continue to get in touch with them was to continue anyway.
Throughout the length of the movement, 80 workers were beaten, 1,000 members were arrested, and 37 churches were bombed. The local sheriff even participated in the kidnapping and murder of 3 SNC workers. This violence drew national attention to the movement, causing their numbers to surge. The group grew so much that they eventually decided to form their own political party.
The idea behind the Mississippi Freedom Democratic Party was that we would make a political party that would actually represent all the people of Mississippi.
The MFDP attracted 80,000 black Mississippians, and they elected 68 delegates to the National Democratic Party convention with the help of influential leaders like Fannie Lou Hamer, who registered about 63,000 blacks in the MFDP. The MFDP challenged the all-white seating of the White Mississippi Democratic Party. The White Mississippi Democrats offered to seat 2 of the MFDP delegates, but they refused.
We didn't even consider taking that deal for a second. The committee can't just issue 2 seats at large for an all issue. We weren't going to stand for it.
The MFDP occupied the 4 seats left vacant by members who opposed the deal. Although the MFDP did not replace the MDP, its action led to a ban against seating delegates chosen through racial discrimination. This brought the Freedom Summer to a close.